The First Crusade didn't just spring out of nowhere. It was shaped by centuries of back and forth conflict between Christian and Muslim powers across the Mediterranean world. One of the earliest and most important flashpoints was the Islamic invasion of Spain. In the early 700s, Muslim armies swept across the Iberian Peninsula, establishing Al-Andalus and pushing deep into Europe until they were stopped at the Battle of Tours.
732 by Charles Martel.
That memory of Islam's expansion into Christian lands lingered in Europe for centuries. By the late 11th century, Christian kingdoms in northern Spain were beginning the Reconquista, gradually pushing back against Muslim rule. The steady drumbeat of religious warfare in Iberia helped normalize the idea of fighting for Christendom and became part of the mental backdrop when the Pope later called for a crusade. Fast forward to 1095, the Byzantine Empire was under pressure from the Seljuk Turks and Emperor Alexios. I appealed to the Pope for military aid. At the Council of Cologne, Pope Urban II seized the opportunity not just to help Byzantium, but to unite the quarrelsome knights of Europe under a holy mission: liberate Jerusalem from Muslim control. He promised both spiritual rewards and the chance to defend the faith. Tens of thousands took up the cross. Some were nobles seeking land, honor and glory. Many were peasants driven by zeal and desperation. This mix produced a chaotic people's crusade, which fell apart in violence and tragedy before reaching the Holy Land and the more organized, noble-led armies that pressed on. Incredible hardships, starvation, disease, and desert marches, but many shocking victories, most famously at Antioch in 1098. In 1099, they besieged and captured Jerusalem. For Christians in Europe, this was seen as a miraculous triumph. For Muslims, it was a devastating invasion, a massacre of Jerusalem's Muslim and Jewish populations. For Jews in both Europe and the Middle East, it was a time of persecution and terror as Crusader armies also attacked Jewish communities along the Rhine. The result was the creation of fragile Crusader states: Jerusalem, Antioch, Edessa, and Tripoli, that would endure for decades, but always under pressure. The First Crusade left behind a complicated legacy. For Western Christians, it was proof of divine favor and a rallying cry for future crusades. For Muslims, it was a shocking incursion that eventually inspired leaders like Saladin to unite against the invaders. For Jews, it marked one of the darkest chapters of medieval Europe. And running underneath it all was a bigger pattern, the long memory of Islam's earlier expansion into places like Spain, Sicily, and North Africa. The Reconquista and the Crusades were not separate events, but different fronts of the same centuries-long struggle between Christian and Muslim powers to define the map of the Mediterranean.